My name is Roland Hofer. I'm 44 years old, born December 2nd. I'm a screenwriter from Kitchener, Ontario. We're famous for research and emotion. I have two brothers and one sister. My parents, mom and dad, came from Europe and grew up during World War II. I think that's why I like old period pieces set during the war. My father worked in Austria as a film projectionist in Graz. That's where Arnold Schwarzenegger was born. My mom was a nurse. My father never talked much about the war. He said once that he was in Dresden where they firebombed. I know Kurt Vonnegut also was there, Kurt Vonnegut Jr. He had a real passion for art and collecting. He would frequent auction houses. He bought one painting, the Princess Henrietta Maria. It was a first wife of Charles I. It was an old classical, neoclassical piece. I remember it in the living room of our house. I was an average student. In grade 8, I got into magic, but I was not a good magician. I was more into art and music. High school life was challenging. It was the 80s. All people who had parents during the 80s would have been, their parents would have been alive during World War II. We all wanted to be like the movie The Breakfast Club. I have something called Caliban's Time Machine. It's basically that millennium was actually a hoax, and we're going back into time, back to 1980, or if you go back as far as 1 AD, it would be the second coming of Jesus. University, I went to university, studied art history and art, did it part-time, and fostered my love in painting. I do abstracts and portraits and landscapes. I've always wanted to be a comedian, like Robin Williams. I'm a big fan of Robert De Niro. He can do anything, drama, comedy. One of his great films was Raging Bull. One of my struggles in this business was I was on a TV reality show called Dragon's Den, and I went on the show, and it was a difficult experience, but I would have been disappointed had they not given me a difficult experience. But I did some brand recognition for one of my products, the solar-powered rock. My nightclub act is called Billy Scarecrow. It's based on a childhood friend. It's a horror film like the film Magic with Anthony Hopkins. It's based on a screenplay about a guy that does a one-act off-Broadway comedy show. It's fostered by my love of musicals like Bertolt Brecht. The main character is inhabited by an alien that occupies the mind of only famous people. One of the toughest parts of this business is that it's a cutthroat, sort of like a job. I mean, I love being part of this real people documentary. Documentaries are my thing, but live theater is actually easier than film, because if you do a play, it's easier to get it produced than a film. That's why I love film, and that's why film is eternal.